Hi y'all, I'm Allison. Okay, so today we're here to start my journey with the Magical Readathon and the mess I have created for myself. It is way too complicated for me to recap for y'all. I've tried a couple of times and I just keep going in circles and going in circles. So I'm going to have to tell y'all, check out the playlist because it's been quite the journey, and as everybody has confirmed, I am completely off my rocker and out of my mind for what I'm going to be attempting. I have given myself time blocks. I can only read my books during the allotted time, and I have a test schedule. So I have to have the book finished and reviewed before the exam date. And this was all randomly generated, so there is no rhyme or reason to anything. Like I said, you might want to check out the playlist because you can see me just slowly going more and more out of control. It's been a lot of fun, but today's the day I face the repercussions of that. And yeah, so we're going to vlog this train wreck. And I'm going to take y'all down with me. Let's take a look at my calendar. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be popping in and out. We'll fill in the calendar on the screen so y'all can see my reaction. Because right now, these are arbitrary dates. Which, by the way, on my bookmark, I put when my exams are as a reminder. So, you know, I can break out in a cold sweat while I'm reading. But in my mind, it's March 28th. And I've got plenty of time. No. Okay, let's go fill in this calendar. Okay, we are doing these in the order that they are listed on the sheet from G. So, elemental studies, that one's at the end of the month. Not bad. And then we got shape-shifting on the 20th. Oh my God, I don't even have 2 weeks. And the day before that is Conjuration, and that one is a special exam because that is a buddy read. I also have to comment on Storygraph with that one as I'm reading. Now we've got animal studies. This is getting scary. It's so... Seeing it? There's another one. Restoration. I don't know whether I should laugh or cry. Okay, there's all of the tests. Oh, but wait. There. Put everything in perspective. This is where we are. And it is already creeping up on 10 p.m. I only have 2 hours that I can read per day on the weekend. So I have to get reading or I've lost more time. I haven't even started yet. Now, Nasilla, she started her classes on Thursday. So she's already ahead of me. The weekends and study hall, if you remember, I can only use to catch up on classes if need be, and I need be. So I think what I'm going to do... Oh my God, I've got, what, a week and a half? Not even? So, I think the smart play would be to concentrate on the astronomy book first, which, let me look and see what that is. Okay, and that is Hotel Magnifique. This was an Owl Crate Junior book. Or, no, Owl Crate. I love my little bookmarks. So, this is to keep me honest. So, I can't, you know, go off schedule. I can read for 2 hours from this today. I don't know how fast I read. I haven't thought of math. I don't want to do the math. If y'all do the math, don't tell me. I have to finish this book and I have... Oh my God. Okay, so it's Saturday. So I've got Saturday, Sunday. And then I can read Tuesday morning and then Thursday. Oh, thank God. I was like, no, my test date is after. Okay. So I can read Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then my test is at noon on Tuesday. I have no idea. I am terrified. Okay. I think this is the craziest thing I've done. And will I be doing this again in August? You betcha. But I will have all of everything set up and I'll be able to start on August 1st. At least that's the dream. Okay, so I am going to start reading this book and stop stalling because, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have. I was so tired after editing yesterday. I think I was up till 1 o'clock finishing that video that just went up this morning that had the schedule nightmare on it that I didn't read last night. This whole thing's going to be over in 1, 2. I have to finish this in 11 days, 12, 13. In 13 days, I have to have 3 books done using time blocks, restricted hour. I've lost my mind. Okay, I'm going to read, and I will check back with y'all after my 2-hour block, and I guess I'll tell you what I think of the book. Y'all, if you can stop laughing at me long enough, please send me some good wishes. Okay, I'm going in. All right, y'all, it's like 12:30. Had some interruptions and everything, so I read for 2 hours, and I have gotten to page 144. This one is 391 pages. Made really good progress. I had to reread a lot of it, though. I'm having a hard time with it. I think it's finally starting to grip my attention. My mind was wandering all over the place. I'm still full of ideas, and forcing myself to focus on this was almost impossible. It's a fantasy. There's magic and everything, and I'm withholding judgment. We will see. I haven't been that impressed. See, I'm on page 14. Chapter 14. And I'd say it wasn't until I got to maybe the last 20 pages it finally started grabbing my attention. I don't think I like the main character. She makes rash decisions, and I'm really having a hard time of connecting with her. The reasoning just doesn't seem there. The author was obsessed that this hotel, it appears like every 10 years in the main girl's hometown, and then it vanishes, and every night at midnight it moves to a different location. It's a magical hotel, and this clientele, they're from all over the world, the very rich, the elite, and the employees too are picked up in different places. So very cosmopolitan setting. I think the author was trying to make that obvious, but they're very concerned with the color of skin. I'd be curious to get a digital copy of this and have it. I know you can do a word count on how often it says skinned, because I know there was one page where it had the text is quite big. It's not small font. There's not that much on the page. In the course of one page, I think I read light skinned, bronze skinned 5 times. Every paragraph, and it's okay, you don't know if anybody's tall, anybody's short, they're old, young, or anything. It's just skin color, and it's just I found that very jarring, just seeing that phrase repeated over and over and over and over again. It's just okay, we get it. It's a wide variety. It's cool. Move on. Anyway, so I know it's probably an odd thing for me to point out, but it was so glaring. I don't know if anybody else has read this and if that stuck out with them or not, but yeah, withholding judgment. So far, not really too impressed, not hating it. The premise is starting to pick up, though. It's getting, I think it's going to turn dark, but we will see. So day 1 of my crazy experiment, and I've made progress. And I will pick this one up tomorrow for, I'm just going to focus on this book while I can, because this is my first exam and the clock is ticking. So, all right. So far we're okay, but I'm only dealing with one book. I will see y'all soon. Okay, it's Monday. Let's pull up our calendar and see where we're at in the grand scheme of things. We are here. That test date's coming up quick. Like any typical college student. I didn't do my homework on Sunday. Nope. So I missed those 2 hours of reading time to catch up, and I can't get those 2 hours back. So hopefully that's not going to hamper me too much. We will find out. Let's pull up today's schedule to see, because my first class was study hall. Great way to start, ease into the week. I didn't have a morning class, and my first afternoon class is study hall. I would love that when I was, going to school. But yeah. Okay. So let me see what my options are. Okay. So we've got restoration or elemental studies. I think I've already got one book in the works that I started on Saturday. And to keep from flip-flopping today, I think I'll just extend restoration and get a nice chunk of time with that book. So that's going to bring us to the charmed list. It's already 4:46. So study hall closes at 6 o'clock. I was supposed to have an hour and a half to get ahead for today, and I'm not going to have that full hour and a half. I had technical difficulties. My mic, I thought it was broken, so it took me quite a while to get that fixed. Thankfully, I did. I'll be honest, I was tempted to just, say, okay, I'm just going to take my hour and a half because unforeseen circumstances. But that was the whole reason I have study hall and makeup times. If the unforeseeable happens, and, if I was in school, professor wouldn't care what time I got there. They wouldn't be like, well, I'm not staying late for you. And I wouldn't blame them. So we are embracing all of the obstacles wholeheartedly, and I am going to dock that time from my reading. Now, since this one is a Once Upon a Book Club, what I'm going to do is, I think, run 2 videos. So I'm not really going to talk about this one in here. We'll just, I'll let you know if I manage to get my full study time in or not, or if, something happened in study hall to distract me. And then we will just move on with the day. And in the meantime, I'm going to start a separate vlog for this to share my experience with the book and unopen. Okay, if I unopen a gift, aren't I like wrapping it? How about while I open the gifts that come with it? So I am going to say bye in this one and start a whole new video. I'll see y'all in a little bit. All right, so I may have gotten to study hall late, but they kicked me out at 6 o'clock. I did not go over my allotted time. I didn't make much progress because I decided to go ahead and vlog it. That cut into my reading time, and I had to feed the critters. So I didn't get as much reading done as I would have liked, which on page 36. Not much progress for a 1.5 hour study hall time. I guess next time I'm gonna have to tell the teacher to chain me to my desk or something, because I did not stay on task at all. But you know what? It's okay. I'm okay. So I have another hour and a half with this one, which is why I chose this for study hall, to get a good way through. I expected to be further in, much further in already. So let's see if I can make up some lost ground during my actual class time. Maybe because hopefully the teacher will keep me more on task. I am honed in more now, so I've gotten into the book. I am really enjoying this book so far, and the gifts have been good. So this video, I assume, will go up way before this one, because it'll be Wednesday before I get to pick this book back up again. So far, I think I'm lulled into a false sense of security, because it's like, oh, this isn't too bad, it'll be fine. I'm not really worried about the time crunch, although I probably should be with the way I'm frittering away my time. And I think that's why I'm not so, no, I have to. But I think what's going to get me, I think what's really going to throw everything all out of whack, is once I start having a ton of books going. Because I normally read one book. That's start my book, and I finish my book, and then I move on. I'm going to be reading at the same time 2 different YA magic books. I'm going to have another supernatural thrown in there, and I've got another. There's going to be days where I can't touch it, and coming back in and out of these books and only reading for a very short period of time. I don't know how much backtracking I'm going to have to do. That's what's going to be my Achilles heel. I'm going to have to backtrack to remind myself what's going on. I bet. but maybe I won't. We will see. All right, I am going to, I don't know that I want to dive right in. I should probably dive right in. Or, see, this is what gets me. That's the other thing. This will be a true test for me. I am terrible with time management, especially structured time management. I tend to balk against being told when to do something. So why I am doing this, I have no idea, other than I love a challenge. So, and right now, my deadlines seem very far away. And I know they're not. I've only got, what, a little over a week before my first one has to be finished. But in my mind, I have ages. I am definitely one that puts everything off into the last minute, and then I scramble. I work best under pressure, under the deadlines. And up until then, I'll just kind of, you know, while away my time, and before you know it, I'm out of time. And the joke is, amongst my family, on my headstone, it's going to be, I need one more day, because that's everything comes down to. I need one more day. Give me one more day. And that's because I've gotten sidetracked so much that, and I thought I had more time than I actually did. So we will see if I fall into that trap. I don't know. All right, enough rambling, because here I am. I'm just going to chit-chat away. I am going to, I think, I should take care of some stuff around my house first. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be responsible. Yeah, that's a smart way to do it. I'm going to get all the little things that would distract me taken care of, so they won't be gnawing at me. And then hopefully I will actually have 1.5 hours of uninterrupted time, because I won't have another gift during this session. There's no way. So we're going to do that, and we'll see how much progress I can make in an hour and a half. That's the other thing. I have zero clue at what my reading speed is. I mean, I know I can knock out a book in a day, but I will get hyper focused on it, and I'll stay up late into the night doing it after everybody's gone to bed, when I don't have distractions. So I don't know. This is one huge experiment, but I'm excited for the challenge. All right, I'm going to stop yakking, and I will see y'all on the flip side of this class, because I've got another class tonight. Okay, time management. I'm going to have to learn something quick. Okay, I finished my first official class, Restoration, and it was painful, because I got to like a pivotal part in the book, talking about the term list, and it's such a cliffhanger, but the bell rang and class ended, so I have to wait now. And I have to wait till Wednesday afternoon to find out what happens. Y'all, so you can see how far I've gotten. Made considerable progress. I did start, I did a little bit of stuff around the house first, and then I started, and I set a timer for an hour and a half. So, hour and a half of uninterrupted reading, and I am on page 134. So, not bad. I expect I'll be able to finish this on Friday, which will, you know, be really good. But we will see, because I also didn't have to stop for any gifts. I've got another, I think, 100 pages before the next gift comes up. But I'm really enjoying it. There's magic, and it's summer vibe. It's making me hungry. I talk about food a lot, and yeah, it is past dinner time. It's almost 9 o'clock, so I'm going to have some, scrunch up something for dinner. I think I've got some leftover pizza in there. That sounds good. And then I have, tonight is my only late night class. It is clearly after dark. I think it actually gets dark at 8 o'clock. I'm not sure. I didn't notice. But anyway, I have one more class tonight that is an hour long, and that one is Elemental Studies. And I don't remember what, Desires of the Dead. So I'll be going from witches to psychics. I did fill out my first, you know, I put study hall to mark it so I wouldn't be questioning it. So I will mark my reading session on here. All right. So that is it. I'm going to have a little break before my next class begins. And then I will grab my next book and we will see how this goes. I'm curious to see how difficult this will be to jump back into on Wednesday morning. I would assume it won't be too bad since I had such a long time with this book. I had, yeah, at least a good 2 hours, 15 minutes, something like that, with all of the stopping for filming. And Desires of the Dead is part 2 in a series, so I'm already familiar with those characters, so that will probably help as well. So far, so good. But it's only day 1. All right, I will see y'all in a while, crocodile. Okay, so it's time for another check-in. Actually, it's past time because it's Wednesday, but we're going to pretend like it's Monday night. Okay, so I had one last class for Monday, and that was Elemental Studies. So I had an hour for that class, and the book was Desires of the Dead. This is part 2 in the Body Finder, which I really enjoyed part 1. I did not get very far at all. I only had an hour for that class, and I got to page 36. Oh, that's why. As you can see on my bookmark, I didn't start class until 11:20. And I couldn't remember if I gave myself a midnight cutoff point or not. I have since gone back and looked at the video, and I did not mention that I had to quit at midnight. I think what I'll do going forward is I will cut myself off at maybe 1 o'clock in the morning. I think that's a reasonable time for a student to put away the books for the night, you know, because they need to get a good night's sleep and be up for school in the morning. So I did enjoy it. I had a little bit of a struggle though, because I was overlapping my memory. Book 1, I was confusing it with A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. So these are kind of similar, which is a good thing, but it took me a little bit to separate the 2 stories in my brain. I hope that makes sense. I was remembering incorrectly and trying to make the 2 match up. I didn't take the time to go back and, you know, read the cover on the first book, which probably would have sparked my memory or even my review. So I might have to remember to do that in the future because, yeah, it slowed me down a little bit. By the way, if you loved A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, you might also enjoy the Body Finder. It's really good, and I'm so excited to get into this so that I got through my first day of school. Okay, so Tuesday morning, I had to forfeit my astronomy class, which is Hotel Magnifique, because I accidentally had read too much on the weekend prior. As a makeup class, I was only supposed to read for 1 hour because that was all I had missed. And I read for 2. So I sacrificed Tuesday morning's class to make up for that, which turned out really good because I am embracing the college experience apparently. Monday night, like 3 o'clock in the morning, Joey, the smallest cat, was meowing constantly. My husband was snoring, could not get to sleep. Finally, at 3:30 in the morning, I decided to take some Tylenol PM, and apparently that worked because I didn't wake up till 11:45 on Tuesday morning. I can't remember the last time I slept that late. It was crazy. So it's a good thing. I would have missed that class anyway. So it worked out fine. So Tuesday afternoon, I started my animal studies class, and that was Hex Hall. I also gave myself a break from my channel on Tuesday. I did not pull out my camera. I didn't edit anything. I needed that break, and it was nice. So I did start Hex Hall, and I got pretty far into this one. 2-hour time block. I read it from 3:20 to 5:20, and I am already on page 178. So I'm like halfway through with this book, which is awesome. And so far, this is my favorite class. Such a good time. There's a good mystery going on. Lots of snarky sarcasm, and it's a boarding school with, and it's not only witches, but there's werewolves and fairies and other shapeshifters. So Hex Hall, yeah, I cannot wait to get back to this class. And it was so hard to put it down because I just kept wanting to go with it. But I did. I put it down at 5:20. And then I had one more class for Tuesday, and that was I had to start yet another book, which was For Aunties in a Wedding. And this one, I'm also doing a buddy read with Molly from Storygraph. This book has been waiting for so long, but I finally started it. And I ran into that same problem. Since I read Dial A for Aunties, I love this book. If you haven't read it, you definitely need to. It is hilarious. With a really good mystery too. The aunts, one of my top favorite characters ever. But I found when I finally got around to For Aunties in a Wedding, I was getting confused from Crazy Rich Asians. While the aunties are very distinctive to this one, our main characters, Meddy and Nathan, I found myself confusing with Rachel and Nicholas. Again, I didn't take the time to refresh my memory from Dial A for Aunties before jumping into this, and this book I had read more recently, so it was fresher in my mind. Now, normally before I started doing BookTube and everything, whenever I read a next book in a series, I would go back and start at book 1. And I would just, like before reading this, I would definitely have read Dial A for Aunties and then moved on to this book. And I do that every time. Like Harry Potter, I have read the first book 7 times at least, because every time a new one came out, I went all the way back to the beginning and read straight through. So this jumping in and out of series is very new to me, and I need refreshers, especially if there's going to be something kind of similar to it. Anyway, long way of saying it took me a little bit to get my head back into the people and remember everything. And I was also, doing the buddy read with Molly. So I was doing my comments on there. So I had a 2-hour class. And I got to page 98. And that was with me responding to Molly as well with, leaving my own little remarks in our buddy read. Again, really hard to put it down. I wanted to just keep going, but I forced myself. Now, originally, I was going to stop this video after I had one class with each of my books, and it worked out that that's how my schedule turned out. You'll notice I've got one of everything except for, I think Astronomy was the only one who turned up. No, nothing has turned up twice yet, but I missed this morning's class. Today is actually Wednesday, and I missed a shape-shifting completely, which is a Red Riding Hood. I didn't even go to class. So that's going to leave a really good impression on the professor for that one. But we had a doctor's appointment. I had to take my mom to the doctor's. And then we went out for ice cream. And I think that was more important than making it to a class. I'm going to have to keep track because I will have the opportunity over this upcoming weekend to make up the 1 hour that I missed with this book. I have managed to start 5 of my books, and I'm also, since I'm limited on these and I wanted to do a little bit of reading last night before I went to bed, I pulled up, I don't even know what book it is. Oh, Mining for Murder. I'm also reading that one. So I think at the moment I'm in the middle of 6 or 7 books. And I think this is where it's going to get me. I'm not necessarily scared of the time. I'm scared of the overlap. But we will see how it goes. So far, so good. I'm optimistic. I'm making really good progress. But I don't know. We will see. I've missed quite a few classes and running late to them. In fact, I'm running late for my Wednesday afternoon class. So I got to go, and I hope to see y'all soon. Bye.